Hello, I'm so excited to share my Sephora haul with you today. I figured it might help you if you're considering grabbing any of these products last minute before the Sephora sale ends. I've already been playing around with a few of these and have some thoughts to share with you, and I figured some of you might just want to see what I got, and that would be fun too. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. I have a nice variety of new releases, new things I've never tried, and staple favorites I always keep on hand and restock. So let's go ahead and get started with what I got in my Sephora haul that ended up a little bigger than what I planned. This was a great opportunity for me to grab two new concealer releases for me to review in an upcoming concealer roundup on sale. I'm having a bit of a problem getting matches with both of them, which we're going to talk about. Now, the first concealer is Lancome Care and Glow Serum Concealer. I am really intrigued by this concealer because it has ceramides and peptides. Those are two ingredients I love seeing in skincare and makeup. It's also got hyaluronic acid. This is supposed to be a medium coverage, really natural looking, blurring, brightening, hydrating concealer. Now, I ordered my shade based on what they had on their website. I should have known better. They give a range of concealer shades based on what foundation shade you are in the Care and Glow foundation. I am in the 300 range, and so I went with one of the lighter neutral options, 305N, which you can see here. This is described as light with neutral pinky peach undertones. My skin tone is light medium, neutral, leaning slightly warm. So I do usually go with a lighter toned concealer, not too light, but this is more of a medium tone. This is not light medium, and it's certainly not light as it's described. But I liked it enough on that first day to try again with a second shade. So I ordered it in shade 220C, which was the next lightest neutral shade. I don't like things to go too yellow under my eyes. It's never flattering on me. So that's this shade in the middle here. This is described as fair light with cool pink undertones, which I still don't agree with. This is what's under my eyes today. I'm still testing it, obviously, but I wanted to give you that information about the shades. If you're wanting to try this, I am liking it so far for a medium coverage concealer. But stay tuned for a full review in my next concealer roundup within the next probably couple of weeks. I'm sure you probably figured out that this swatch over here is from the other concealer that I purchased, which is YSL All Hours Creaseless Precise Angles Concealer. So this is supposed to be a creamy, creaseless, full coverage, soft, matte, yet hydrating concealer. It's got skincare actives that are supposed to make your skin look smoother, softer, and firmer in 14 days. That's pretty intriguing, but this shade is very yellow. It is LN4, and it's described as light with neutral undertones. Now, I do get paler as the months get cooler, but my foundation shades that I've always worn still match me. And what I'm determining from a lot of the new products that I'm trying, a foundation that's coming up and a foundation roundup, and these concealers, is that a lot of complexion products are being labeled as being light or light medium, and they're deeper. I'm not sure why that is, but this LN4 is not light with neutral undertones. I would personally describe this as medium with yellow undertones. This is not neutral. LN1 is also described as light with neutral undertones. I don't know if it's also going to be yellow. Maybe it's a little bit lighter than LN4. That's the next shade up. I think I'm going to have to go in store to exchange this and find my exact shade. I had to order it because they didn't have this shade in stock, and I thought this was going to be my match, but it's not. So stay tuned for this review, also in that concealer roundup, and we'll see if I actually got a shade match. And here again are those three shades of concealer, and you can see the radiant finish of the Lancome versus the soft matte finish of YSL. Full verdict coming shortly. Let's move on to a foundation that for some reason I have never tried, and I have no idea why. Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Foundation. This is what's on my face today, and I feel like you can see that it is a soft matte finish. It's buildable from medium to full coverage. I did not need concealer today, and it still looks nice. It doesn't look heavy or cakey. You're going to get my full review in my upcoming foundation roundup. I'm not going to give that to you here because it's only my first day trying it, but my initial impression is really great. It smoothed my pores, blurred my imperfections, and is a really flattering, natural looking matte foundation, soft matte foundation, and it's supposed to be sweat and water and humidity resistant, which I'm all about, and it feels really lightweight too. So I'm glad I finally picked this up. I don't know where I've been or why I haven't tried it yet, but full verdict coming. I have also ordered Estee Lauder Futurist Skin Tint Serum Foundation, despite being pretty sure it's not going to work for me, and I do have some skepticism with this foundation, which I talked about in a recent video that I'll have linked up in the corner and down in my description box, and my top pinned comment. It was you don't need that type video. It's also supposed to be sweat and humidity resistant, and it's supposed to last all day, but then it claims to have 8-hour wear, which I think is ridiculous and contradictory. And they also claim it fights UVA and UVB rays with SPF 20, but it's a serum foundation, so we'll see. I will still review it because I know there are people that really love Estee Lauder and you want to know my feelings on how it performs, and I feel it's my duty to actually give this a good shot and get rid of the bias that I have with the claims. Maybe it'll turn out to be just a nice skin tint that actually performs well for several hours. We'll see. It's on the way. There are a few things that haven't gotten here that I'll just flash on the screen. And by the way, if you're hearing some weird noise faintly in the background of this video, Luke is sitting over there on the sofa chewing on a bone. He has a fall sweater on today and hates every second of it, but it is chilly outside and he has gotten really thin at his 14 years of age. We're trying to put some weight on him. It's a whole other story, but I just wanted to let you know that you might be hearing him here and there throughout this video. I don't know how long this product has been out, but I was really intrigued by it, so I had to grab it. This is the Lancome Priming Serum 24-Hour Hydrating Solid Smoothing Primer. I mean, this compact is really pretty and luxe. When you flip up the lid, there's a nice large mirror and there is a little applicator in here to scoop it out, and you flip this lid up and there's your primer. You can see where I scooped it out to use it the other day. You only need a pea-size amount, just like with any primer, and it transforms from kind of a solid into kind of a balm when you start massaging it. It's got 1% hyaluronic acid to hydrate and niacinamide to help minimize pores and even skin tone. It says it has a matte finish, but I didn't really get a super matte finish from it. It just kind of blurred and smoothed my skin. I don't think the camera really picked that up. So I don't even know if I captured anything on camera because I don't think you could really see it. But my foundation applied really nicely over it. Everything looked really nice and smooth and wore really well throughout the day. I'm going to keep testing it, but I wanted to pick this up to see if it was a nice primer option, especially if you're traveling and you need a solid instead of a liquid. I'm always looking for products like that. I mean, aside from looking for good products in general. If you've tried any of these, let me know in the comments. I, again, don't know how long this has been out. Has this been under my nose this whole time, this hidden gem? Speaking of which, can we talk about this First Aid Beauty sunscreen, the weightless liquid mineral sunscreen with zinc oxide? This has SPF 30. It's for all skin types. The wording is what intrigued me. It says it's a luxuriously lightweight mineral sunscreen with an ultra sheer tint that blends seamlessly into skin for a satin finish. It's supposed to be silky with a barely there texture. I applied it this morning and yesterday, and it does have a tint that just blends right into my skin. It's not a skin tint. It's a tint so that your face doesn't turn white from the mineral sunscreen. This layers well. It doesn't pill under makeup. It just seems to sink into my skin beautifully. It also has oil absorbing microspheres that are supposed to visibly reduce shine, yet it doesn't feel drying. It actually feels somewhat hydrating but not greasy at all. This might be a near perfect sunscreen if it keeps going well and doesn't make my skin react in some way. The reviews are really great for this. I'm going to keep testing it, but the past 2 days I've been really impressed. To round out the complexion portion before we move on to the other stuff, I have 3 Holy Grail favorites that I repurchased, restocked up on. I have been out of my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder in the shade Pound Cake for a while, and I have been waiting on the sale to get another one. I love this stuff. It's basically my go-to setting powder. It's very, very finely milled. I feel like you can see that in the cap. It's very smoothing and blurring, and it absorbs excess oil, but it doesn't look cakey or too matte. It's also got vitamin E in it, which is nice. It just does a great job of locking my makeup in and keeping me shine-free as long as possible. And it's not too drying for my normal areas around the perimeter of my face. I get shine in my T-zone, but I can be dry around the perimeter, and it just works well in all areas and looks natural, not too powdery, you know. I also restocked my Pat McGrath Labs Blurring Under Eye Setting Powder, which is my favorite blurring, soft focus, brightening under eye setting powder. Now, I went over this pretty in depth in my last video, my holy grail products from Sephora that I can't be without. So if you want to check out more details on this and why I love it so much, you can check that video out up in the corner or down below in my description box in my top pinned comment, along with the rest of the products from this video. But this is my favorite holy grail under eye setting powder because it's very finely milled and it's just beautiful even on my dry textured under eyes with fine lines. I'm very picky about setting powders under my eyes, and that is my go-to. And I also covered this in that same video and said I was going to be repurchasing it because I have hit pan on my Fenty Beauty Invisa Matte blotting powder. This goes with me everywhere. This is Rihanna's blotting powder that she touches up with. It looks white, but it's completely translucent. You cannot see it. It's a beautiful shine absorbing blotting powder that doesn't cake or settle in fine lines. It's just great to have on hand, and it does come in refillable packaging now. There's nothing worse than having a touch-up blotting powder that continues to add pigment and cake up your makeup throughout the day, and this does not do that. This is what's on my eyes today, and it was so easy to work with. This is the Lawless Dreamy Dozen Talc-Free Eyeshadow Palette. I have reached into it for some all matte looks already too. There's also a nice mirror in here. It's very easy to work with. I don't get a lot of fallout with it. This is a great everyday eyeshadow palette if you want some neutral and cool tones as well. The mattes are very creamy and blendable, and you have 3 nice shimmers over here too that are flattering. The shade I have on my lids right now is this one, which is kind of a taupey silver shade. I have this in my crease and transition along with this in my outer third, and I placed this shade in my crease just a tad to give just a little bit of depth. It's just very easy to work with, so if you're looking for a nice neutral palette, talc-free or not, this is a really nice one I'm glad I picked up. I get asked sometimes if I've had my lips tattooed because the pigmentation around the perimeter of my lips is darker than the inside of my lips. Drunk Elephant Lippy Balm is actually what increased that pigmentation. My lip line had basically faded. It was very uneven, and there's an ingredient, tripeptide 1, in Drunk Elephant Lippy Balm that can actually increase the definition around the perimeter of your lips, and it has done that for me. So I intended to repurchase it because that is a holy grail product for me. I don't like to be without it because of what it's done for my lips, but it also keeps my lips from ever getting chapped. It's out of stock everywhere. I'm silently dying inside because I'm a little nervous it might be being discontinued, like my Kopari eye balm that I love so much. I need to reach out to somebody and find out so I can know for sure, but I started looking around for something that had tripeptide 1 in it, and I did find, oh my gosh, I need to fix that hair gap. And I did find the tripeptide plumping lip balm from the Inky List. Now this has a 6% tripeptide complex that does include tripeptide 1. It's also got 2% ultra filling spheres with hyaluronic acid to help give your lips fullness and extra care. So it's supposed to hydrate, repair, and smooth, and leave your lips looking fuller and healthier, and maintain your lip skin barrier and moisture and enhance lip volume. and help define your lips. And it specifically says that next to the tripeptide complex. So I have high hopes that this will help in that area as well, but it does sound really great. I've used it a few times since I got it, and I do really like the way it makes my lips feel. It has a very basic taste and scent. It's unscented. You know how when some unscented products have that unscented smell and taste, it's not completely nothing, but almost. That's kind of what this has. So far, so good. Only time will tell. My favorite Sephora makeup tape is marked down to $4 as of filming this video. I don't know if you still get 30% off of that because Sephora collection products are 30% off, but at $4, that's phenomenal. So I grabbed a few of those actually. Now I went more in depth with this and showed you how I use it sometimes in my last Sephora video I did, my Holy Grail Sephora products I can't live without video. But I love that makeup tape in particular because it's very thin. It's very easy to place by your eye, so you can really get that uplift to make your eye looks quicker than they would normally be. You can just go in kind of messy and still get a really nice wing. And even if you don't do a wing, it just gives you a nice border so that your shadow doesn't go lower than it should. So you just keep a nice uplifted look to your eyeshadow in general. And it peels off gently so it never tugs your skin. So I had to grab that while it was at such a great price. Not that it's not regularly, I think it's usually $8, but I couldn't pass it up at $4. Living Proof discontinued one of my favorite products from them. It's not even on their website anymore. I do not have naturally sleek, straight hair. It's very prone to frizz, and I live in one of the most humid places you can live in the United States, New Orleans, and it's humid here 97% of the time, year round. So when I would walk out of my bathroom on our most humid days, I would spray their humidity shield, I think that's what it was called, over my hair as a last minute insurance step. It was kind of like hairspray, but without the hold. It would just keep your hair from frizzing as much as it usually would. I decided to look on Sephora to see if they had any kind of a substitute product that might function the same way and be as effective. I have not tried this yet. I have hopes. This is the Shield Anti-Humidity Spray from Amika. Now, they don't say to use this the same way that you use the Living Proof product. Instead of using it as the last step of your hair care, you're supposed to use this on damp hair, I think, before styling. It says it protects hair against frizz and humidity for up to 24 hours. It's great for all hair types. And it's a UV protectant and a heat protectant up to 450 degrees. And I feel like you could use it that way, but I'm wondering if you just sprayed it on dry hair, if it would work the same way. We're going to find out, so stay tuned for my thoughts on this. I restocked my current favorite shampoo, Briogeo Destined for Density. This is a caffeine and biotin peptide shampoo that boosts hair density, obviously because of the name, but it also encourages circulation at the scalp and root level for fuller, healthier looking hair. So it's great for all hair types, but especially if you have fine or thinning hair. It's also got coenzyme Q10 and green coffee oil, and it also helps strengthen hair. I just feel like my hair does really well with this shampoo and conditioner, and I go through shampoo faster than conditioner. I still have some, so I just grabbed more shampoo. I love it, and if I can get it on sale, I'm gonna do that. I also grabbed more of my Holy Grail dry shampoo from Living Proof, Perfect Hair Day Advanced Clean Dry Shampoo. The reason why I love this so much is because this cleans and cares for your hair pretty much like a rinse out shampoo, but in dry shampoo form. It has these fast absorbing powders that soak up oil, sweat, and dirt and odor and removes them with this powder removal system. It balances your sebum levels and conditions and refreshes your scalp, and it leaves my hair soft and shiny. It doesn't leave that white residue that a lot of dry shampoos leave. I had some friends that used this at first, and they were like, I don't know if I like that because I don't think it does anything because my hair's too shiny. I told them that that is how this works. It works so effectively at actually doing what a dry shampoo does, but it leaves your hair soft and shiny instead of gray and powdery looking. It's so good. I love it. I just continue to use this as my primary dry shampoo. I told myself I wasn't going to buy a perfume during this sale. I mean, if there's one thing I don't need, it's another perfume, but it's my weakness. So I ended up with one. I have gone through a sample of Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. It's been a while since I went through that, and I kept thinking I'm going to use up something before I buy a new perfume. Yeah, that did not happen. I decided to buy it anyway because it was just on my mind. Now, I'm not someone that likes overly sweet fragrances, and I feel like the name and the notes make you think this is going to be a big sugar bomb. And I do know fragrance is different on everyone, and it does have a sweetness to it. It's not so much when I first spray it, it's the dry down. I cannot stop smelling my wrist after this dries down. It's got vanilla and whipped cream, which again sounds like a sugar bomb, but it's so comforting. I don't know if it's the nuttiness of the pistachio and the white flowers that I kind of pick up on too, but it just makes me happy and it's comforting all at the same time. And sometimes that's just what I need. So I ended up with it. It's on the way and I can't wait to get it. I buy this every year when the holiday savings event rolls around. In particular, not just one, but multiples, and there are a few reasons. So this is the Nest Holiday and Birchwood Pine Candle Duo. I buy one for myself because I burn both of these during the holiday season. These are very unique scents and they're so beautiful, each of them in different ways, and Nest candles burn beautifully. I have repurposed these jars for makeup brushes and other uses. I love doing that. I know other people that do that too with Nest candles in general, but the holiday candles in particular are really pretty with the gold. I buy one for myself, and then I have two people in particular that I buy these for too. It's kind of a tradition at this point, and I always regret not getting an extra one to have on hand because I can always think of at least one other person that I want to give one to. So this year I bought 4, which seems kind of ridiculous, but people love getting these. So if I can get them on sale, I get them. And I mean, you really don't even need to wrap it. It's so pretty. I'm really big into home scents. I'm a sucker for candles. I got another full-size candle I wanted to try and a Sephora favorite set that you can redeem for a full-size candle. So I knew that was going to be worth the money. So the full-size candle I got is the Voluspa Sparkling Cuvée. I've burned Voluspa candles in the past. They also burn very nicely. I love that they have lids. I also like cleaning these out and repurposing these after to use them. You can smell it from here. It smells really nice. Very similar to Nest. These burn nicely and can have a different type of throw after they're lit. They always smell a little bit stronger, but then have this just lovely throw. So I'm excited to burn this to see how it smells when it's lit. This is a beautiful presentation. Love that. It's a very giftable candle. So the Sephora Favorites mini candle sampler set is on the way. It's not here yet. It has 5 sample size candles ranging from floral to earthy and woody and warm and spicy. This was $60. You get 5. It looks like votives of each of these candles, and then you can take the included certificate into Sephora just like you do with any of their favorite sets, and you can redeem it for a full size at no cost. Now, the one candle that I have lit before and I know I like is the Nest Madagascar Vanilla. So I'll be happy if I can get just a full size of that after sampling all of these. I've smelled the replica by the Fireside candle, but I haven't lit it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to like that one, but I'm anxious to try these. They'll be nice little powder room or smaller room candles to have in the meantime. So I think this is a good buy. I'm anxious for it to get here and try these out. Let me know what you ended up with in your Sephora hauls in the comments down below, and if you've tried them out, are you happy with what you got? If you're still trying to grab some things before the sale ends, be sure to check these videos out. I have some great recs in there for you. I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.